Brethren, June the 11th would have marked the fourth meeting of Warwickshire Installed Masters Lodge, at which I would have had the great privilege of presiding as the Worshipful Master. As you all know, the suspension of Freemasonry means that will not happen, which is a great shame. It would have been my last full meeting before installing my successor. I've mentioned before we had some plans for the meeting in that it was going to be a very short business meeting, which would have taken place at the Yenton Assembly Rooms to enable us all to actually gather at Aston Villa football ground so that we could have a night of celebration and fun and reflection to celebrate the end of the tenure of our provincial Grand Master. But it's not going to happen on June the 11th. Please be assured, brethren, it will happen. It will happen on some future occasion. At that business meeting, I would have announced that we would vote for our Master-elect. And I'm very pleased to advise you that vote would have been for very worshipful brother Christopher Rogers, who will, with your blessing, succeed me as the Worshipful Master of Installed Masters on some future occasion. And I'm sure you'll join with me in congratulating very worshipful brother Chris on achieving the chair of Installed Masters. However, also that's delayed, and that can't be helped. So the idea of my talking to you today is that we would have met in March, we would have met in June, and on those occasions we would have had collections for charity. You're all aware, I hope, that Warwickshire Charity has been very, very active during the current crisis and has donated huge amounts of money, which our festival director will talk about shortly. And that's all come from you and your generosity, brethren, and we're very, very grateful for it. But of course, the coffers need to be replenished, and ever mindful of the difficult times that we are in, we are intending to appeal to you to make a donation to the 2023 festival, and I'll leave that in the capable hands of worshipful brother David Greenwood shortly, who will do an appeal for you. So brethren, I'm so sorry that we won't be meeting on June the 11th. We would have had a splendid, splendid night. I know that. Everybody would have thoroughly enjoyed it, including our partners, our wives. But we will do it on a future occasion. And on that note, I now hand over to worshipful brother David Greenwood, who will do a very special appeal on behalf of the 2023 festival. Thank you, brethren, and stay safe.
Thank you, Worshipful Master, and thank you for the opportunity to address the brethren regarding the festival. We have, over the past number of weeks, experienced unique situations, unprecedented circumstances, and the invention of a totally new language. 10 weeks ago, we hadn't really heard of COVID-19. Social distancing was having no friends. Not many of us had heard of furlough, let alone being able to spell it. And we had no need of a new normal. But the world has changed, brethren, and I'm pleased to say that we have managed to adapt with it. We have been able to listen to our rulers and our members. We've reacted to local and national need for assistance, and we've been able to donate large sums of money to the most vulnerable. And all this at a speed that meant the help was there quickly. Whilst there has been a massive amount of change and uncertainty in the last 12 months, one thing has remained constant: our individual and collective response to charity. Since the start of the pandemic, the province has made donations totaling £280,000 to local good causes, many of which are operating on the front line in the fight against COVID-19. In addition, last year, individual lodges donated a further £160,000 to non-Masonic charities. Fantastic effort, brethren, of which you can all be very proud. 4538 has a tremendous track record of generosity and has been donating in excess of £1,000 per meeting, and in the last 2 years has contributed £4,500 for the 2023 festival, helping to support the MCF, our national charity. To date, the MCF has donated £2 million towards the fight against COVID-19, and so they need our help now more than ever. I am aware that family and individual budgets have come under pressure during the precautions that we have had to take, but anything that you can do to continue to make contributions to the 2023 festival will make a huge difference to those most in need at present. Those in hospital suffering from COVID-19, the doctors, nurses, care staff, and other frontline workers putting themselves at risk to keep us and our loved ones safe. I'm sure we all know somebody in these groups, and our own lodge, 4538, mourns the loss of Worshipful Brother Sam Williams, who himself succumbed to the virus. Brethren, if you are in a position to help, we have set up an everyday hero page for Warwickshire Installed Masters. Just log in to mcf.org.uk, click on Festivals, and find the Warwickshire 2023 festival pages. The donation part of the page is on the right-hand side, and once you click on it, it will show you how to give. All the money we raise will go towards the festival target, and in turn the MCF will be donating funds to our local charity. So please give as generously as you can. Thank you. One of the local charities, Province and the MCF have already helped, is the University of Birmingham Hospitals Trust. And here is Laura Power, the fundraising manager, to give you a little insight into the support we have given them. Thanks for listening, and I hope for the generosity, and I look forward to when we can safely meet again. Over to you, Laura.
Thank you for the introduction, David. I'd firstly like to say that the support of the Warwickshire Freemasons and the MCF have been invaluable this year, particularly during the pandemic. You were kind enough to award us a grant of £40,000 in 2019, which went to support our incubator appeal, providing life-saving pieces of equipment for our tiniest and poorest babies across Good Hope Hospital and Heartlands Hospital. These are now being used and saving babies' lives, so thank you so much. This year you've been kind enough to support us in a grant of £34,500 to help us fund iPads so that families can stay connected during this pandemic, bereavement boxes so that we can give dignity to patients and families during this incredibly difficult time, and special chairs for our staff in their wobble rooms to give them a place to go that they can spend time and try to relax given the current circumstances. Thank you so much for all of your support throughout the last 2 years. It really has made a huge difference to our staff and to our patients and their families. I wish I could be there to thank you all in person and to meet you, but hopefully in the future we will meet. Thank you all so much, and thank you on behalf of our 4 hospitals, our staff, our patients and our families. You are fantastic, brethren, so thank you so much. I will now hand you back to the Worshipful Master for some final comments. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Laura, and indeed thank you, David. I'm sure, brethren, you'll agree with me that they've both given us a great insight into the way that our money is spent when we donate it to charities, and how important it is that we continue to do so even during this unprecedented time of Masonic suspension. And so, brethren, if you can, please give generously. I appreciate everyone's circumstances are different and particularly exposed at the moment with this bizarre world that we're currently inhabiting. But if you are able to, you know your money will be very gratefully received, and you can be assured it will be faithfully applied. And so, brethren, I wish you well. Thank you for your attention to this video. We are all looking forward to meeting again in the not too distant future. I know we're all missing our Freemasonry terribly. But stay safe, and we look forward to your company at some future occasion. Many thanks. Bye-bye for now.